Good evening and welcome to another trip down the Blackpool Illuminations. We're coming into twilight now, so we're going to have a little walk along the North Pier in a moment and we'll see what's left of the sun setting. You'll see what I mean when I look at a moment. There we go, we're just looking down the area of the tower there. This is now looking further up the north end, and this is North Pier here on my left side. All up and running and looking very colourful in itself. I noticed just on the outside here they don't have a lot in the way of illuminations. There's a bit of a break here and then you come into another lot. I guess that they probably think that the lights from the North Pier itself will take a lot of that attention away from the main illuminations. I'm not sure. It also has a theatre on the end there as well. So here we go. It seems to be the widest opening of all the piers, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure it is. And like all of them, they have an arcade at the entrance there that you can either walk through, or you get a choice to walk round the side as well. So here we are, the Blackpool North Pier. Yeah, they've got places where you can eat fast food and is it a bar or pub or whatever it looks like? Coffee? Now just on to the right here, you've got the station for a little train that used to go up and down. I'm a little disappointed because I was wondering if it still ran, and it doesn't. There used to be a lot of those on a lot of piers, but it was just a miniature railway that took you to the other end of the pier, which is quite nice to touch, seeing it operating. So you can see this beautiful sun setting in the background. It's already set, so we now call this twilight time, but isn't that lovely? We will be going back to see the actual illumination shortly. We've got a few of these turrets along the way, this sort of thing that you see along the traditional piers. Well, the traditional sweet shop. Yeah, it's definitely a clear night tonight. Well, reasonably clear. I say that, look at that, there's a big cloud up above as well. There's not much happening in between, so it's mostly a walking pier in this particular area of it, whereas the other two piers have something happening, I think, like amusements and amusement park rides and things. There's a couple here. There's a carousel at the top here. And here is this double-decker carousel as well. Yeah, I like that, the two floors of it. Yeah, you've got some steps to take you up to the other. We don't see many of those, do we? This is the theatre on the right hand side here. It looks quite a big one as well. I have been here, I have been to the theatre here at least on one occasion, if not two. Did that say Great Yarmouth something on the side there? Opposing seaside towns. So what's in here? Lots of seats. It's very bright in here. Oh yeah, very bright, very nice. And we're still outside. At first it looks like you're on the you're walking in, but I can now see the sky through this. That's really nice, isn't it? How lovely is that? Yeah, it's got a bar there and everything. So where is this? This is, have a look, see where this is. This is called, this is the Bloom Bar. Yeah, they got it advertised outside, and this is the garden, obviously, of the Bloom Bar. It looks nice in and out, doesn't it? Oh, this is a nice place to come along to. Yeah, it's done really nice. I like this. And it's a beautiful evening tonight as well. It really is. It's about 20 degrees, and that's very good, very good. And it's like everywhere, when the sun's up, when it's hot and warm or mild or whatever, it's always a nice place to be. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, theatre over at the front there. Yeah, it looks like a little tram, doesn't it? Bloom Bar, yeah. Yeah, it's nice. And your double-decker carousel. So they've only got 1, 2, 3 rides on the actual pier itself. That's more than enough for this particular pier. I think this is the posh one, the first one that was built, the more Victorian out of all of them. And then they built the next one down was the Central Pier. There's how to scout it there. Central Pier, and the Central Pier at the time was actually known as the South Pier. There it is, the one with the wheel on it. And then when they built the real South Pier, then that had to be known as the Central Pier. Yep, that's a sight you see when you're coming out the theatre at night and the illuminations are on the tower. But I do still remember it with the white lights, the gold white lights, low wattage lights. These are even lower wattage. And they can do anything and everything with them, all the sequences and everything. I do like some of the sequences on that tower. Some better than others, that's quite a good one. And that's a look of a lot of the illuminations spread across the front there. So that's the main part of the Golden Mile there, or most of the Golden Mile itself. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the actual Golden Mile is about 1.25 miles. I'll have a look over the other side as well, and that's heading more up to north. And then round the corner from up there you've got Ginn Square, and then further up you've got the what they call the Giant Tableau Illuminations up and Bispham Way. It's well lit. It's going through its rainbow colours now. So I'm going to take a walk through the arcade section here briefly, just to see a little bit of different scenery than the one we saw when we came in. Quality gins and spirits, so yeah, it's a bar. Yeah, here it's like all of them, they've all got an arcade at the entrance, which is a good place to have one as well. Once you get through there, there's a whole cavalcade of mystery there after that on each pier. Yeah, there we go. So I'm not going to hang around through this. I just wanted to just have a quick brief look as we walk through and come up to the entrance. At least won a lot of tickets. We exchange those for prizes. And as soon as we're out, we're met by one of the now up-to-date Blackpool trams. They didn't all used to look like this. This has been like that for the past 8-9 years, or maybe more. They had to alter the rails, the size of the rails, to incorporate these new trams, and any of the old ones that were then needed to go on, they had to alter the bottoms of them. It seems quite a palaver, doesn't it? I think these are remembrance illuminations. They've got to put photographs of people in the centre there. Supposed to be one there for the men and one for the ladies on the right, but the right side, it's a projection actually, but the right projection doesn't seem to be working at the moment for whatever reason. Yeah, World War One, all to do with World War One. Now we're going to take a walk on the left hand side now, on the side of all the shops and the restaurants and the bars. It's a little bit more noisier up this side, but it's quite nice though. Very busy. And just down the side you've got another walkway of illuminations. That's nice, isn't it? Tower's gone into a green mode now. It's not very expensive to take one of the trams. You can have that for 1 or up to 7 days. I think they'll do that on board the actual tram itself for you, and not only that, that would take you all the way round areas of Blackpool, probably Cleveland, Fleetwood. I'm sure it covers all of that, and including also other buses as well, Blackpool buses as well you can get onto. So you won't just be limited to the seaside area. You can go to the zoo, Stanley Park, any of those areas. Yes, and it's very good value for money, but I can't remember how much. It's a few pounds, that's all. I think it's more expensive if you just want a single trip on one. But the more you get, the more you save, really. Yeah, there's certainly a lot going on here. There's not many seaside, well, I haven't been to any other seaside resort that's like this, that is as busy as this, put it like that, and with so much going on. No, I don't even think anywhere else even touches this. There might be areas of some of the other popular seaside resort that might have something close here. They don't seem to have illuminations for a start. They certainly don't have a gigantic tower like that. Therefore they don't have quite as much congestion with Illuminations traffic either. There's one of the gift shops. So, but this one's closed. This is Woolworths, old Woolworths. I remember that being there. 1974, 74. I first came here, and I do remember coming here on a Sunday once, and Woolworths was open. I was very impressed by that, because everywhere else, a Woolworths and the lights, anywhere in the high street, all the shops were closed. But to see a Woolworths open on Sunday was just out of this world. Yep, some of the coach tours there, they'll be taking them through a run of the Illuminations. There's a very colourful wheel over the back there, Ferris wheel. That was used as a BBC ident many years ago. That was the one they added these cartoon aliens jumping on and off the seats there as well. But otherwise, it was used as instead of the globe, they used that wheel there, that very wheel. You might be able to Google it or find it on YouTube. A copy of it, I'm sure you will. And this is all the tower area here, we're right underneath now. Yeah, it's interesting. It goes through different light sequences. I think people walk inside or through them. Haven't seen any of the illuminated trams as of yet. I'm sure they're about. Normally I see that train running up and down in the, was it the hovercraft and the boat? Used to see a rocket as well, wasn't it? There was 4 of them all at one time, and the last time I saw the rocket was up in, I think it was the main centrepiece in Guinness Square, quite a few years ago, but it wasn't operational, it was just there all illuminated up, which was quite nice. Wild West Diner. Interesting. This is all new, this is. It's a new building as well. Spyglass. Bar. Yeah, it's a bar there. Spyglass. So yeah, all new that is. And here's Coral Island coming up now. This is, I believe, the largest in floor space amusement arcade. There might be others like this in the UK. This is the largest I believe I've ever been in, but somebody might tell me there's somewhere larger. It certainly has to be the largest in Blackpool anyway. There must just be about every single arcade machine that is in the world in this place. It's got to be. It looks like Vegas, doesn't it? It looks like Las Vegas. If you look up above, you've got like this sort of monorail system running it. Is that the Parrot Flyer, I think they call it? They're like little pirate boats. And there's the Buccaneer over the back there. Yeah, they're little boats that's running now. I think they used to be called the Parrot Flyer. Oh, it's the Pirate Flyer now. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm sure at one time, did this used to be a yellow brick? Did they make this a yellow brick road up here? It's all nicely carpeted. Wi-Fi, you got Wi-Fi in here. I'm not sure if you want to use Wi-Fi with all these other activities and things going on. Penny Falls, yeah. Snack bar. Yeah, if you want to get a cheap snack or whatever, or dinner or something, or lunch or something, come to the snack bar. You've got all the bits and pieces, chips, beans, fish, meats, potato pies and those sort of things. They're just cheap. They're not fantastic, but they're okay. And they're not expensive either. Back out onto the Golden Mile, and right in front they've aptly named that amusement arcade as the Golden Mile Amusements. That's colourful as well. It's got light sequences on the top there. And that's been there for a number of years as well, many years. They've all seemed to have changed their facade over the years. Oh, that's pretty good, that one. Also sharing the perimeter is things like gift shops and restaurants and the likes. And just up ahead here you've got some carriages, Cinderella carriages. They used to all be just normal carriages at one time, and then I think that somebody introduced a Cinderella carriage, and now they seem to be more of them than the normal carriages now for whatever reason. I suppose at least you're covered, so if it's pouring with rain, you're not going to get wet anyway. But it's a form of taxi transportation, I believe. I'm not sure. When I've looked at them, they just seem to go in a specific circuit. So I'm not sure. They don't seem to go much north of here, so they seem to turn around. So maybe they're not as a normal taxi. Maybe it's just simply a pleasure ride. Yeah, they've got hundreds of these stores along the way. You'll not be bored at all. Graffiti golf, I'm not sure what that is. Let's see, graffiti golf. Is that glow in the dark golf? Yeah, it's glow in the dark mini dark golf. Laser shootout thing, yeah. Funland amusements. There you go. Slightly better look at the Ferris wheel down there. To say it was once a BBC ident, which you can still check out. Check it on YouTube. They're great, aren't they? Where else will you see something like this? I've only ever seen these particular type in Blackpool itself. They do have something similar to it, which is the normal carriages, and they have those in Great Yarmouth. That's the only other place I've seen them. I'm sure someone's going to tell me no, they've got them somewhere else as well. Let me know, because I'll go and check it out. It's also the only seaside town I know that runs trams, but again, maybe someone else does. That's a normal carriage one. Those are the type that used to be here many years ago. Actually, not too many years ago. So we're going to head back now. I'm going to head towards those. Oh, look at these. Look at these bikes. Oh, wow. How good is that? Yeah, you can stop at the red light. But they do tend to turn around more or less at this point. Not much further up the road. It's very slow, the traffic isn't, although actually it's probably going a lot faster than it normally would, especially during the weekends. They used to start from the south and go up right the way up to the Bispham Giant Tableau, and it was all one-way direction, and it was just traffic that trickled along. It's great if you're a passenger and when you're younger and everything. There we go, another look at the Ferris wheel there. About the same size as the one in Dreamland in Margate. They've got one down there as well. They've got one in Eastbourne. It doesn't light up though. I think lighting up is quite important as well. Obviously means nothing during the daytime, but it needs to come into its own at night. Sea Life Centre. That's a really good one actually. It's all upstairs, it's all above all those arcades and shops and everything. But it's really nicely done. It's the first Sea Life Centre I'd ever been to when I came up to Blackpool after it had opened, and I found it a very pleasant experience. Really nice, very relaxing. You can stay up there as long as you like. And those are the same people that own Thorpe Park, Chesington, World of Adventures and Alton Towers and all that. Madame Tussauds. They got one of those here as well. It used to be Louis Tussauds at one time. It's now Madame Tussauds. It's taken it all over. Well, they seem to be popular, those carriages, don't they? But all the actual main carriage, not the Cinderella ones. Oh, they're slightly different in shape as well. Some are more like egg shape. This one's a round sort of pumpkin shape. But they're not pumpkin, they're all pink inside. They're not orange inside like a pumpkin. So there we go. I guess they got the reasons. We'll take a look back there. Down there, we'll have a little walk down there on another day. Otherwise, heading up towards the Giant Tableau at Bispham very shortly. And that's all Coraline will go right the way back to the end of that road there. It's a big place in there. And like a lot of other places, I do know that they rent out stalls and different things. They used to have more stalls inside there actually. I just realised, I'm not sure if they still have, they used to have these separate stalls that used to pay rent inside. But obviously on the outside it looks like that these are places where people rent the spaces there. Prom chippy, handmade fudge, gift shops, Rock, World of Sweet, Blackpool Rock, World of Sweet, yeah. All those places will be renting them from Coraline itself. It's a big place. I don't know who that's owned by, I should check it out. So I'm going to take a tram to get me up to Bispham now. to see the, this is the one here, the sea life tram. Take us up to the Giant Tableau at the end, or at least some of the Giant Tableau anyway. We'll have a look up there. So we just come from Coral Island. This is obviously sponsored by Coral Island. It has to be because it's got Coral Island above there. I've never noticed that before, so I'm not sure if originally this was the sponsorship of Coral Island or whether that's been added on since then. Going to come down to the, yeah, and notice the tram tracks now actually look like train lines, don't they? You've got complete with sleepers as well and everything. You can cross over certain points, you'll know where to, and there'll be a little gate on either side as well where you can do that. There's a couple of lights, so rather than go right the way down to the beginning. Elgin Hotel, Blackpool. Is this, I'm not sure, I keep seeing a little film there, and is this the fall of the Roman Empire maybe? This has been here for years and years. And this was known as the Evel Knievel Stunts Illumination. This has been here for a long time. And here we go back again, we're going to have another look at the full Coral Island Buccaneer tableau. So they're obviously sponsoring it now. I'm not sure if they were sponsored it years ago. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe they did. Still becomes the greatest free show on earth. All mechanical. Very atmospheric, isn't it? I'm not sure what these are, these. City and Sweep, these have been here for a few years. It wasn't too far away. Harry C. Corbett was walking along the Blackpool North Pier, and in the window of one of the little gift shops saw this little bear there. I thought I'll buy that, and used it in an act. And that was obviously became sooty. I don't know why it became known as sooty. Because sooty is to do with something that's black, isn't it? Something that's been up a chimney. So there's probably some explanation that everybody knows except me. These are good, the 4 seasons. All that. You've got the spring. You've got the spring, the summer, autumn, winter. These are pretty large, these ones. And they've been there for many, many years. These ones over here, they used to be sort of like just white lighting, I believe, initially. They had something, so they had quite a few similar to these. They would sort of like do the negative, see, like that with the fish, and then and now they just colour them in, which is quite nice. But I think they just used to be with something similar to that with white lights at one time. That peacock's been there for a long time. This camera is pretty good at this is the GoPro Hero 7, and it's pretty good at bringing out colours. Every now and again, I can see some bleaching down there on the peacocks, but otherwise apart from which. And the nursery rhymes, yeah, these are quite some old traditional ones. These ones here, these have been around for a long time. I don't know if these are any of the traditional ones as well. They probably are. And they used to work on a mechanical basis. You used to get this drum rolling round and making contacts inside at certain points. But now it's all just done with a little box of electronics. Something that's done quite easily on a little computer. And it does away with all that mechanical stuff. But at the time it was all cutting edge. And you still haven't got anywhere like this, not in the UK. Yeah, they are giant. They are very giant, these tableaus. And the ballet dancers. Swan Lake. And this has been here for quite a few years as well. There's a lot more up ahead as well. I'm not going to look at all of them, but there is a great deal up ahead. And I like these as well. This particular one, that's a beautiful design, isn't it? That patterning up there. An entrance arch. They got the same sort of thing down. I think it's identical down on the south shore there at the south side entrance. So at one time this would have been the end of the lights, or the finish of the lights. But it depends which way you come in. It's the beginning. And I guess that the finish of the lights, they wanted to have the best stuff at the end, which they did. Yeah, so there's lots and lots more up there. You've got a bit of a gap there, but there's a load more up ahead, as you can see. And I'm going to be turning back now. There's a big building over to the left there. During September time, except for weekends, I think it's Fridays and Saturdays, during the weekdays and Sundays, Illuminations are probably on for about 2.5 hours. It's long enough. It usually goes on about 8 o'clock and switches off about 10:30. But and then the weekends, I think it can go up to something like about midnight, 11 o'clock and then midnight. But as the season goes on, of course, the nights draw in. And so they switch on earlier. You find there's points where it switches on about 5 or 5:30 as you go through. Most times the actual season for the Illumination starts at the beginning of September. They'll have the grand switch on. Usually some celebrity will do that. And then that will go right the way through to the very beginning, or the first week in November. Well, now they've extended it for a while, just to make up for a lot of time through the pandemic, and to make sure that everybody gets a chance to see it for whatever reason. They've now extended it right through to the beginning of January now, so you go right the way through Christmas. whether you get too many visitors coming after the October time or after the November time, I'm not sure. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for joining me on this Illuminations tour from the North Pier, round past the tower, and then up to the Giant Tableau section in Bispham. See you all again very soon on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe so you're up to date with all my latest. Take care. Bye.